What is up, YouTube? This is Rob from RP Mono Railroads, and in this video, I'm very excited to share with you all a huge update on the Retro Tyco layout, or rather under the Retro Tyco layout. And then I'm going to be giving you guys a quick tour of my entire Tyco collection. Now, I know that several commenters in the past had asked me if I was ever going to make a video showcasing my Tyco collection. I didn't do it because at the time, my entire collection wasn't really in one place due to space constraints. But now that it is, this video is going to be an entire collection tour, as brief and informative as I can make it for this video. Now, as far as the big update for Retro Tyco now has 12 additional drawers, making 16 drawers total. Now, many of you probably saw in previous videos, and I believe in my layout tour video, the original 4 drawers that were here. They have since been, they're kept the same. The other drawers have been added to the opposite side, and then on the opposite side of the layout as well, which we'll get to in just a moment. And then everything on the front of the layout has been painted white and completely transformed. I think it turned out fantastic. I got some major help from my dad on this project, so huge shout out to him. I really appreciated all of his work and all of the time that we put into this. This was a very time-consuming project. And for anyone wondering about the drawers, they are made out of 3/4 inch plywood and 1/4 inch flake board for the bases, and then we have some 1/2 inch flake board and 1/2 inch plywood for the front of the drawers. That being said, working with wood like this, many of which were old pieces that the family had laying around and we were able to use and cut properly, we had some imperfections, so it's not the most perfect thing in the world, not claiming that, but they are durable, and they are going to do well to conceal my entire Tyco collection beneath this layout. And as I mentioned, there are 16 drawers total. So on this side, we have the original drawers retrofitted, which are about 39 inches wide, 40 total for the space. And then we have much larger drawers on this side that are 43 inches wide, 44 inches total for the entire space. And then if we walk around to the opposite side of the layout, by the way, I did not paint the control table. You'll notice that, and that's because I'd have to peel up all of the power packs, etc. in order to paint around that. Might do it in the future, but who knows. But for right now, I haven't done that. So here's the opposite side of the layout with the drawers. And on this side, they alternate. So we have the larger drawers here, the 43-inch drawers. And then the opposite side over here, we have the shorter drawers again, 39 inches wide or 40 for the entire space. So overall, this has given me a tremendous amount of space to be able to store my entire Tyco collection with plenty of extra space, to actually display it, within these drawers. And also gave me, I think I have like 3 empty drawers left, and that's really with spacing things out, which is fantastic. So, we're going to jump on the opposite side of the layout here, and I'm going to give you guys a tour of my entire collection. And here we are with the first drawer. We're going to begin with diesel locomotives. This is my Alco drawer. As you can see, I have plenty of space in this drawer to add additional locomotives, but I have quite a few favorites in here. Obviously, before I get any further into the video, my Tyco collection is by no means complete, and probably never will be, based upon the vast amount of trains that Tyco created. But I'm just feel very privileged to have been able to get these in the condition that I've gotten them, and I hope to get more Alcos in the future. So yes, this drawer is entirely Alco C430s and Super Alco C630 diesels. In the next drawer, I have all of my Tyco GP20s, which is a pretty interesting collection. I have a few duplicates of certain locomotives that I like in particular, but overall, most of these, if they are the same, I have a few variants, but overall I have one of each of the shark noses, except for the extremely rare ones. And the GG1s, I'm only missing one for the collection, the silver Pennsylvania Railroad, but I'll get that in the future. And then over here I have some of my other random EMD diesels, EMD SD24s, and the E7s that I have so far, and then some Plymouth diesel switchers, including the Mask diesel switcher. So again, this drawer has a lot more space for what I hope to eventually make a complete Tyco shark nose collection. And hopefully I'll be able to get some more GP20s as well. Here is my Tyco F9 or F7 collection, and I have quite a variety of different road names here. By no means complete, but I have been able to get several different variants of similar versions, like Union Pacific, the Santa Fe War Bonnet, Burlington, etc. And again, I just really like the design that Tyco used on their F9s, and hopefully I'll be able to get a more complete collection in the future for some of the harder to find ones. With the bottom drawer on this particular side left empty, so that I can hopefully fill it up with more locomotives in the future, most likely diesels, I'm going to take you guys over to the next set of drawers on the layout. Okay, and over here we have my only Tyco steam locomotive drawer. So obviously, I have a rather small collection of Tyco steam locomotives compared to diesel locomotives, but I hope to be getting more of them in the future. And all of these you guys have probably seen in my previous videos. None of these are recent additions, but I hope to fill this drawer up with some more of my favorite Tyco steam locomotives. The next drawer begins my Tyco freight car collection, starting off on the left with all of my Tyco old-time reefer cars, various different billboard editions and different road names. Next to that, I have my Tyco single-dome tank cars. They kind of expanded into the next row there a little bit. I have some duplicates of particular tank cars that I liked, but otherwise I have one of each, except for a few different types that I don't have yet. And then I have some Tyco gondolas, some with loads, some without, including the Burlington red gondola with the roof there. Next to that, I have my different Tyco small flat cars with loads, some with culvert pipes, some with tractors, some with the original red pipes on them. And then over here I stored my manual dumping cars. So I have the Keystone coal dumping car, the Pennsylvania Railroad dumping car, and Clementine, etc. I thought they fit the theme of this drawer pretty well for the collection. And then I also have the operating cars, the operating log dump car, and the two of them, and then one operating ore dump car. In this drawer, I have stored my 40-foot cars, including 40-foot reefers, some standard flat cars with the tractor-trailer loads and coil loads. I also have my U.S. Steel flat car there and some pulpwood cars. And then to the right of that, I have my entire Tyco caboose collection. So I have quite a few of the Tyco cabooses, probably most of them from the brown box era. I only have a few really from the red box era, because obviously they're a little bit harder to find. And I also have some wide vision cabooses there. Most of them are cupola cabooses. And then my Searchlight cars as well. But again, there's plenty of space for me to be able to expand the cabooses in the future, as I often like to run matching cabooses with locomotives whenever I can. And on the final drawer, on the bottom, I have some Tyco cars, special Tyco cars with particular loads. The autoloader cars, some of the Tyco log cars back there. I also have hoppers in this drawer, so you'll see the Holly Sugar hoppers there, the operating hoppers next to them with plenty of space, and the piggyback cars. Unfortunately, the movement of the drawer has knocked them off, so I just laid them flat as best as I possibly could, but that's why I wanted to keep them on the bottom drawer, so that they would be together, all the flat cars or special Tyco cars with loads. So I have quite a few piggyback cars I've collected over the years. And I have the two container cars over here in the far corner, and some Tyco quad hoppers. Pretty much all of them are all lined up there. So yeah, basically this drawer is kind of like an everything drawer with plenty of additional space as I get some more harder to find piggyback cars and operating hoppers as well. Now I've moved to the drawers on the opposite side of the layout, where I've expanded my freight car collection with some larger freight cars. So in the back I have my 62-foot reefer collection and 62-foot standard boxcar collection. And towards the end, I've stored all of my high cube cars, the two 62-footers, Union Pacific and Sioux Line, and then my regular 40-foot high cube boxcars, including the Chug Chug boxcars that I have. Again, the way that they're lined up like this, they do roll back and forth, but my main reason for doing this, much like the locomotives, is I don't want any of the graphics or paint to get scratched. And with how deep these drawers are, it's perfect to be able to allow the cars to move back and forth, and it doesn't cause any damage. And so that is perfectly fine for storing them, in my case. Then I have the triple dome tanker cars. So I have, I believe they are the Exxon tankers that I have. And then I have two Shell tank cars and a Union 76 car. Kind of hard to see with the way I have them stored. And then next to them, I have my Gulf triple dome tank cars. So again, obviously not a complete collection, but I have quite a few of them that I've gotten over the years. Then I have my longer covered hoppers here which are all pretty much lined up with some extra space. And then over here I have my center flow hoppers, again with some extra space, which will allow me to add to the collection here in the future, because obviously, basically at this point, I only have a lot of different rare variant, or harder to find, I should say, cars or locomotives to get. I've gotten a lot of the common ones, although there are a few of the common locomotives that I still would like to get for the collection in really, really good shape. Alright, and this drawer is composed of my entire Tyco 50-footer collection. So, again, with the way I have these stacked up, it's just best for minimizing the amount of storage space that needs to be minimized for all of these to fit in. But to sum up what I have a few of the Burlington Northerns back there, and the ATSF El Capitan boxcars, and then I have a few of certain popular Billboard 50-foot cars. You've seen many of these in my videos in the past. And then I have my special Spirit of 76 cars in the front here. The pretty hard to find Alaska 50-foot boxcar. I have it in its original box there. And then I have the state commemorative cars and a few others. Again, with plenty of space to expand, because the 50-foot boxcar is probably the particular Tyco car that I have the largest amount of. Definitely, just because of the wide variety of different Billboard cars that Tyco produced on the 50-foot boxcar. With another extra drawer below the 50-footer drawer for additional freight car space, I have the bottom drawer used to store all of my Tyco passenger coaches, which I have a few sets, the Baltimore and Ohio set, the Burlington set, which have been used in my videos, and the Amtrak set. And then I have a few random older cars down here at the corner that I haven't really shown in my videos too often, except for the Central and Atlantic older passenger coaches there. But I hope to get more and fill up this drawer with some of my favorite Tyco passenger coaches in the future. And the last four drawers are filled with some pretty unique aspects of my Tyco collection, starting here with this particular drawer that has some of my Tyco sets. So I have the old Tyco diecast yellow and red pennant shark nose set all in one place, and I have my Johnson wax set in one place. I have the Transformer set next to that with the original figurines. I believe I have most of them, or if not all of them. My Tyco A-Team set with my A-Team helicopter and the van launcher. I do not have the van, but hopefully I'll find that in the future. And then my Tyco G.I. Joe set, which I don't believe I actually have made a video on yet, but I probably will be making a video on it soon. I've had it for a while, but it kind of got forgotten with the other new additions that I've had. But yeah, I hope to run that in the future. And then for anyone wondering what these boxes are, these are various Tyco cars I haven't really put on the layout yet. So I have quite a few. I think I have like 2 or 3 Tyco ore unloading cars. They're not all going to be kept. I'm probably going to keep the cars and then end up selling the kits at some point in the future. I also have a bag full of accessories here, light poles and cars, etc. So if any of you are wondering if in the future if I'm going to put any Tyco telephone poles on the layout, yes, I do plan to do that. I haven't done it yet because I'm not completely done with the town yet. Like, I haven't fully decided how I'm going to set up the buildings. I just have them randomly placed in the 2 circles there in between the figure 8. But eventually there's going to be a fully fledged town, maybe like some brown roads that match the old Tyco Expander set boxes. So yeah, definitely something I'll do in the future. And I have quite a few of the Tyco telephone poles here that and signs as well that are going to make a pretty interesting addition. I also have some of the Tyco A-Team and G.I. Joe tanks and soldiers, etc. that came from the sets. Again, not complete, but I got them when I bought the sets used, and sometime in the future I'll probably put these on the layout like I did on my original Retro Tyco layout. I just haven't really gotten the time, so they're stored in here nicely. And then I have a few other things. So, I would like to get some Tyco lights in the future, and I know they're out there, I just haven't really been paying too much attention because it's going to take me a while to try to wire all that up, especially with the drawers underneath the layout now. But anyway, I got this blinking traffic light from Aaron, which many of you guys know him, is doing some incredible work on the custom Ephrata Valley locomotives and train cars in recent history. And so we ended up doing a deal on this. And haven't forgotten about it. It's just sitting in here until I'm able to actually put it to use. That's why these drawers are called the fun drawers, because whenever it's a rainy day, or I feel like pulling something out I haven't necessarily put on the layout yet, this is a place to do that. These boxes are empty back here. I just kept them because I hope to do some photo shoots with them. And then I also have some kits in the future I hope to put on the layout. So I have this Tyco freight station, which is still sealed in the original box here. It may have been opened, but it's basically sealed and complete. And then I also have these Tyco remote control switches, left and right, that are in their original blister packs that have not been opened. They're basically in here because I haven't necessarily decided whether I want to crack open these packages or not, just based upon the fact that everything is in there. And by the way, I did get both of these Tyco switch tracks and the freight station from a guy that's on the Tyco Trains forum that also said he was a big fan of my channel. He ended up sending these out to me about a month or more ago, and unfortunately with everything happening on the layout, I didn't really get a chance to make a video about them. So, Jerry, if you're watching this video, you already know, but I truly appreciated you sending these to me. And for right now, they're safe and sound in this drawer until I'm able to put them on the layout. So, thanks again, man. Super cool for sending me these. And I hope to, who knows, maybe I might put these switch tracks on the layout. Maybe I'll display them. I haven't decided yet, but the kit will definitely be getting built sometime in the future, and I know that's going on the layout. So, stay tuned for that one in future videos. And next up on the fun drawers, I have my projects drawer. So basically, this drawer is filled with long-term and short-term projects. They're not parts projects that I hope to get to in the future. Many of them in the back require certain parts that I don't actually have in all the parts that I have right now, but I'll get it in the future. It's not really a big deal because I get newer locomotives that I haven't had before, and then I have to tune them up and add them to the collection. So we're gonna real quickly pan the camera out here, and you'll be able to see some recent additions that I hope to get to in the future. And then these projects in the back are basically, as I previously mentioned, projects that I'll be able to pull out whenever I'm bored and hopefully work on, because they're going to require a lot more work than basic tune-ups. But this drawer will give me the ability to store recent additions or projects in a safe space until I'm able to get to them. And in the last drawer, because I have another expansion drawer that is open for future additions or expansion if necessary, but in the last drawer I have my entire Tyco slot car collection, which looks pretty small in the drawer here. But for those of you who have been following me since my original retro Tyco layout, I used to have a slot track that was elevated on that layout. It was just a basic oval, really, that I ran some of my Tyco slot vehicles on, and it was pretty cool. But then when I built the new retro Tyco layout, there wasn't really space. So I basically just kept these because I got them at pretty good prices for what they normally go for. And one thing is certain, slot cars are a lot of fun, and the whole road and rail aspects of some of the Tyco train sets back in the day must have been pretty awesome, because it was pretty cool just to run these in an oval, around an oval of track. So anyway, so I have quite a few Tyco slot trucks here, some US 1 trucks. Again, by no means complete, but I have some of the common ones, and then I have some slot pickup trucks back there, and then a Chevy Blazer, the A-Team slot van, a Lamborghini, and a few Porsches there, so, and a Jeep. So I have some pretty interesting Tyco slot cars, the Tyco fire truck, I forgot to mention that. And also I have quite a few Tyco US 1 slot car trailers. So at some point in the future, I'd like to put a slot track on this layout, or maybe I'll build something else, I haven't really decided, but for now, they're safely displayed along with some of the parts that I have, the only parts I have for my slot vehicles, and flags, and fences that went around the original oval of slot track. I have that track as well, but since it wasn't Tyco, I believe it was made by Aurora, I probably wouldn't be using that if I go to put slot track on this layout or something else in the future. But again, I put that with the rest of my Tyco collection because I felt that basically it was great to see these again, taking them out of the organizers that they were in, and overall it just gives me the ability to keep them here for safekeeping until I'm able to eventually run them again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this brief glimpse into my Tyco collection. I have quite a bit of different Tyco locomotives, train cars, slot cars, etc. By no means a complete collection, but I'm very pleased to have been able to get all this stuff in over probably about 5 years. 5 years worth of collecting Tyco stuff. So it's been quite a journey learning everything about Tyco. I still do not know everything, but I hope to learn more in the future. And with that being said, with the drawers now organizing my entire collection, Retro Tyco is back in action with the layout completely opened up, including the siding that was originally designed here with the Tyco block switch to be able to be used. And also the operating hopper accessory there is now open with no hoppers blocking it. And so basically Retro Tyco is back in action. So you'll be seeing future Tyco videos on the Retro Tyco layout here real soon. And I have some recent building additions and everything else that you'll probably be seeing popping up on the layout as well when I'm able to complete them. RP Model Railroads out.